For me, of course, Jammu will always be the most special place on this planet because that's the city I'm from. That's where my father's from. Hence, I'm a Salathia. I'm from Duggar Salathia. A little form of etiquette, the way they talk, how smiling they are. Maybe that's why my teeth are always out, because I think I've learned it from the city I'm from. When we talk about Jammu and Kashmir, everybody talks about Kashmir. It's almost like we forget Jammu, like which kind of feels not so nice.
Jammu is so famous, it's world famous for its temples. I think there's so much more to Jammu, and I can't wait to tell you all about it. Some famous ambassadors of Jammu in our talks. An actor of great repute, known for his maverick roles, but also for his unique style of dressing, Sahil Salathia. Warm hello, I'm Nisha JamVwal, bringing to you some of the luminaries from Jammu. I consider these people ambassadors who take the fragrance and the beauty and the absolute unique culture of Jammu heritage to the rest of the world. And here I have somebody very special, a good friend, an actor of great repute, known for his maverick roles, but also for his unique style of dressing. I have for you an ambassador of Jammu, Sahil Salathia. His love for Jammu you will hear about in a moment. But in sticking to his true aesthetics, he's given us some of the most gutsy, power-packed and varied characters on screen that shock and amaze audiences with path-breaking performances. In Everest as Yusuf Wali, an antagonist in POW, Shamsher Bahadur in Panipat, which all of us remember, and There Will Be Tomorrow. But one of the unique roles he played was in Purushpur, where he plays a gender-fluid character. And you all know that, actors are very scared of being stereotyped, so people would not take such an experimental role, which he did, unafraid and maverick. Sahil is somebody you're going to really enjoy chatting to. I've always loved him as a cousin, as a friend. Let's get to know him up close and personal. But more importantly, why does he keep going back to Jammu at every opportunity and every break that he gets? Sahil, tell us about your attraction. What is it about Jammu that makes you want to, epitomize it in all your Instagram posts, talk about it? Tell us about your love for Jammu. And here I have one of the most exciting, fun and fabulous actors from Jammu, who's taking Jammu internationally and putting us on the map, Sahil Salathia. Sahil, I'm so excited to have you here. Not only for your acting skills and for the fact that you're so experimental with your roles, you're so, diverse in the way you interpret characters, but most of all, because you have that special connect with Jammu, and I have a special connect with you because of Jammu. And I've noticed how at the slightest break, you go back to Jammu and you enjoy the heritage, the culture, and how you showcase it in your very popular Instagram page called Sahil Salathia. So I encourage all of you to look at Sahil there. We have a fabulous friendship even online on Instagram, where I'm commenting on his Instagram and he's commenting on mine. But what I love is that, when he's in Jammu, he's doing reels and little talks around Jammu and showcasing what he loves about our homeland, Jammu. Yes. Sahil, what are the special memories of Jammu that you bring to the rest of the world?
For me, of course, Jammu will always be the most special place on this planet because that's the city I'm from. That's where my father's from. Hence, I'm a Salathia. I'm from Duggar Salathia. whenever I go there, I would spend a lot of time at the little restaurants. Going to like Asia Hotel for me is such an event, because I have grown up there. I have gone there with my friends all my childhood years, all my schooling years. Going to Falak in KC Residency is such an event. Like the little revolving restaurant. It used to be such a landmark. It still is a landmark.
That's the one high point about Jammu city.
Yes, yes.
Incredible. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and the food is incredible. Yeah, having kaladi, going to the old city, going to the little shops, everything about Jammu is really special. The food, I think, is so much fresher. I live in Bombay. The food quality is so much better. Air quality is so much better. So there are so many plus points. And plus, I think Jammu feels like a small family, because everybody's so warm and smiling and nice to each other, and the Dogri language, everything's so special.
I think the Dogri language is unique in its mithas and sweetness, isn't it?
Yeah. Yes, so 100%, 100%.
And how has growing up in Jammu shaped you as this very unique actor who's, I just find the way you approach roles, the way you approach even attire, it's so colorful and kaleidoscopic. It's not stereotypical. Yes. So how has Jammu shaped that very unique character that we know as Sahil Salathia, and I know as a very special cousin?
Jammu, I'll tell you one thing. Now, I think anybody in Jammu right now who's living there, all are very colorful personalities. You see a lot of culture even in the way they dress up. Even the women, they're so beautifully dressed. They wear a lot of color, because I think one plus point we have in Jammu is the weather is great. It's great winter, summer's also good. I understand it's hot, but it's not humid like Bombay, or it's not humid like the other parts of the country. You can wear color, you can, dress it up. And as far as my roles are concerned, that's something that's personal. Like I've always wanted to do work that'll leave an impact, something that people would find interesting, because in India, we like to box people very quickly. We like to typecast people very quickly. We want them to dress a certain way. We want them to do a certain kind of roles. So it's been a conscious attempt coming from Jammu itself, because like I grew up in Jammu and even in Kashmir, but mainly Jammu, because I'm from Duggar Pradesh. So I think, when you're from a small town like they call Jammu, which I don't think is small anymore, because there is so much to do and there's so much development. And so I think when you're from there, you pick up the little nuances from people, you pick up the little form of etiquettes, the way they talk, how smiling they are. Maybe that's why my teeth are always out, because I think I've learned it from the city I'm from. Everybody's like warm. So, you get inspired by these little things and you instill that in your life, which I clearly have.
And what do you feel are the special qualities, the special art, the special heritage of Jammu that you would like the rest of the world to know about?
Firstly, I would say Jammu, unfortunately, is when we talk about Jammu and Kashmir, everybody talks about Kashmir. It's almost like we forget Jammu, which kind of feels not so nice, because I'm not saying Kashmir is not a part of us. The whole state is one, but still, sometimes when you just put in all the light on one part of the state and not the other, it's slightly unfair. So I think when you come to Jammu, you can it's got a very particular flavor in the food. It's got a very particular cultural heritage. If you go to Hari Nivas in Karanagar, which is near Panchtirthi, it's a beautiful palace. It's got a beautiful restaurant. It's got a great
and a stunning museum.
Stunning museum. Yeah.
Created by Ajat Shatru Singh, the prince of the palace. And
so I think it's a great heritage
complex site. And it's the best place. We have to go there for a coffee when we are there.
Yeah, 100%. It's one of my favorite places in the world, to be honest. Because I grew up in Karanagar, so I was literally half a kilometer from Hari Nivas. So I would go in the evenings with my granddad for a run and then eat there. So these special things are very, very special about Jammu. But I wish that the word spreads out to people who are not from Jammu and they get to visit that.
So are you going to, Sahil, is it possible for us as ambassadors of Jammu to bring, stories of Jammu to the rest of the world, and to bring stories from the rest of the world to Jammu to shoot in the very picturesque and kaleidoscopic locales? I somehow feel that it falls upon us as ambassadors of Jammu, as people who've gone out into the world and made a mark, to actually popularize with the abolishing of Section 370. I think it falls upon us to share the beautiful culture of Jammu with the rest of the world. How do you plan to do that?
See, I think firstly we need to have more stories which are about Jammu on the big screen, which are, because right now I think the flavor is Uttar Pradesh and Madhya Pradesh. That's the belt we are hitting right now when it comes to Bollywood. I hope we go up north and we have interesting stories coming from Jammu, because like I said, there's so much culture, there's a particular kind of flavor that Jammu could offer on the big screen. Other than that, I think social media these days, it's become such a big tool, you could reach out to lakhs and lakhs of people on social media.
Social media is so interactive and fun, and I love the way you bring stories of Jammu onto social media. And now with OTT platforms, I think the world has really opened up to because you have subtitles, and subtitles allow you.
Yeah.
So I'm also hoping, Sahil, that the very sweet, melodious Dogri language can be subtitled, and we actually see indigenous poetry and literature and dance
100%
platforms worldwide. And who
100%.
better play roles which are authentic to Jammu
than me.
Because you even look so typically, so fabulously from Jammu with your features, color. And I'm wondering, what is special? I mean, can you tell us something about the cuisine which you love, or the I've noticed, Sahil, something very special about you. You dress very excitingly. So perhaps you're looking at even the dress of Jammu, so kaleidoscopic with its very intricate embroideries.
Yes, so when we talk about cuisine, my favorite dish is ambal. Like, I can have ambal with anything and everything, be it dal, be it chicken. I think it adds so much of that tangy flavor. So that's my favorite dish. I'm sorry. And when it comes to clothing, like I said, there are these little stores, little gems that you could pick clothes from in the old part of the city, near the Panchtirthi belt. Like, they have amazing textures, amazing cloths that you could stitch into something interesting. So sometimes I do that, by the way. When I go to Jammu, I would pick up, if I see very interesting cloth, I would pick it up and then ask my team to get it made for me, So I do things like that. And when it's food, ambal is the go-to dish for me.
Fabulous. And Sahil, have you enjoyed or explored the poetry of Kunwar Viyogi?
Sorry?
This is the Kunwar Viyogi Memorial Trust Festival of Jammu.
Yes.
Headed by our beloved Nisha JamVwal. I wonder, you've been exposed to the poetry of Jammu, and if you have enjoyed the Dogri language. Do you speak the Dogri language?
Because my granddad would read a lot of Dogri novels or Dogri books, or he was very, very into the whole Dogri scripture, if I can say that, the language, So I would sometimes read it with him, but unfortunately I haven't read a lot of Dogri poetry, but I've heard a lot of Dogri songs, because when you're in Jammu, there are these Dogri channels. So there are a lot of Dogri songs, the folk songs that I've heard. Can I sing them? Unfortunately, no. But I've heard all of them.
So I'm hoping that the next time we chat, you're going to sing us a line of a Dogri song. But for now, I want to ask you, what is the message to the young in the connected world about Jammu from you?
I would say, please visit. If you are from Jammu, firstly, be very proud of it, because God's been very kind to you. It's a beautiful place that you've gone into. I think anybody and everybody who's from Jammu, we are really blessed when it comes to genes, when it comes to looking a certain way or smiling a certain way, we are just really warm people. And if I may say so, we are pleasant to the eyes. And if you are not,
Sahil, if I may say so, you epitomize the beauty of Jammu. Your warmth, your exuberance, your energy, it's just so infectious, and it's, you're a fabulous ambassador for Jammu, and every role that you played is unique. It's so, it's so powerful and so experimental that I feel what you're saying is so important. We need to take Jammu to the rest of the world. What is your message to all the youth of Jammu?
That's what I said. Like, my message is be proud of your heritage, be proud of your culture, because that's something that's going to take you places. If you have to be proud of your upbringing, of the little things that your city has offered you, that Jammu has offered you, because you could be living in New York, but you can't really take Jammu out of you, because that's where you were born, that's where you grew up, that's where your family is from, that's where your surname is from. So, these are the things that are inbuilt, like even when we are born, it's inbuilt in us, it's in our race, it's in our culture. And if you are not from Jammu, please visit Jammu, because it's really worth your time. You would have a great time. And I think people in Jammu are very talented. That's why we have some people coming in making good cinema, doing good work in Bombay. But I really wish that more people from Jammu can be seen in the entertainment world.
Fabulous. And I think you would inspire that, Sahil. The more people that who hear you, see Vidyut JamVwal, see the artists that we are going to chat with subsequently, I think people like us would inspire more of the Jammu folk to come out and make a name for Jammu, and for the rest of the world to go and explore and see this the absolutely kaleidoscopic rich state of Jammu.
I don't know about anybody else, but you definitely are the ultimate inspiration for everybody who's from Jammu.
That's absolutely fabulous of you to say. Sahil, you just made my day, and I'm so happy that you think I can be an ambassador for our beautiful state. I feel a great sense of love and passion for the poetry, for the literature, especially for the crewel embroidery, for the carvings, the walnut carvings of and of course the filigree jewelry. I'm absolutely delighted to hear what you have to say about Jammu. Thank you for joining us, and can't wait to see you soon again, and of course in a role or in a film shot in our very beloved land of Jammu. Thank you.